Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Airships Conquer the Skies and an exclusive look at a brand new monster headed to the game. Today's beverage is a lovely cup of coffee black, no sugar. So as part of the upcoming Halloween update and accompanying sale, the developer David Stark got in touch and asked if I would be interested in checking out one of these new monsters early. I obviously said yes, and what followed was a sharing of ideas and a discussion on what this new monster could be, and there was an interesting back and forth, and those ideas have now been realised. I have the files, and for the first time I'm going to check this thing out and try and defeat it. Now, a couple of things before we begin. Firstly, I have not seen this monster in game. I don't know what it's armed with. I don't know how difficult it is. I don't know whether it flies, whether it walks, whether it swims, whether it just explodes on contact. I have no idea. All I do know is that it's called the Shellwalker, and the original idea was a sort of mad scientist / Halloween type of affair where it's sort of hammered copper and brass plate, sort of steampunky style, mixed with sort of sinew and bone and that sort of thing. Secondly, this monster will be available for you to play and defeat and be available in the game, but only after I have defeated it. So there are 3 modes in the game. There is a tutorial, a normal mode, and a hard mode. Only once I've completed all 3 will it be unlocked in the base game. So basically, I hope you like waiting. Because this could take quite some time. I mean, we may defeat it in this video, we may defeat it in subsequent ones, I do not yet know, because as I said, I have not even seen this creature. Thirdly, although this isn't a sponsored video, obviously there has been a back and forth between me and the developer, so please just bear that in mind, and obviously I have mentioned the sale, etc. Links are in the description as always for that. So let's just go over to the missions, and we can see we have 3 Shellwalker missions. We have the Shellwalker, Shellwalker Hard, and Shellwalker Training. We're going to go for Shellwalker Training, a monstrous creation of bone, flesh, and metal training mode with near unlimited cash mods Shellwalker. We're going to click play, and we will check this thing out for the very first time. Right, as I said, I did sort of suggest a sort of bone and metal construct, and that's pretty much what we've got. We have got a death egg as far as I can tell. We have, as part of these legs, obviously it is a walking creature, unless it opens up and there's a big suspendium bubble and it flies off, but I doubt that. We have this sort of metal and bone and sort of wire legs on either side of it. We have a big ball on the bottom, which is all hammered and beaten, different assortment of metals all riveted together. We have what looks like to be multiple eyes around the outside, which are very disconcerting, and then this sort of egg thing on the top. And what is interesting to me is that there's this seam up the middle and what looks like some cogs on either side. So either these fire, or does this open up? I don't know. I mean, for all I know, this thing could jump up and land on me, and that's all it does. Okay, so it says set of power forces. The enemy apparently is rated at a 10,000. I don't actually know what the official rating for this monster is. I have no idea. All I know is this mode is practically unlimited resources, so it does say 10,000, so we can put up to 10,000. The other mode is 4,000, which is normal mode, and then the hard mode is 2,000. So let's go over to add, you know what, this is a land ship. We'll go with a land ship too, and we will put in probably the, well, what's the Medusa? That is like acid, isn't it? That might be okay. The GLV mini Tankington. You know what, let's put a mini Tankington in there. So we have one mini Tankington, which as you can see is just, well, it's a mini tank. It's got a cannon on the top there, it's got some tracks, and it's got barely enough things to make it move, and that is armed with, I have no idea. Let's click start and let's see what this does. 3, 2, 1. Lovely sip of beverage and a go. So, well, apparently it opens up and fires a massive death ray from this weird this weird sort of spike in the middle made of flesh and sinew, and then we've got what looks to be a sort of suspendium crystal at the top there, but that wasn't making it fly. That was a suspendium death ray, and that has completely destroyed the mini Tankington. Okay, that is interesting. We will exit that combat and we will try that once again on the training mode. So we'll click play and let's go to add land ship once again, and this time we're going to put in, actually no, I think we'll put in an airship this time. What we've got a Barry, that's a decent vessel. So this is only 886 generic units of currency, and we can see that it is armed with grape shot cannons, one suspendium tank, and then a sort of auxiliary suspendium what would you call that, like airbag, gas bag type thing, suspendium bag, I guess. And okay, we will start that, and we can see that it actually opens up fully there. I'm guessing because it was down there, it sort of didn't open. So it does like open up like a big shell, hence the Shellwalker. And yes, it is this weird massive biomatter that's sort of around this shell. And do the eyes move is the interesting part. We're going to put it onto a quarter speed. Oh yes, that's exactly what it does. So we're firing away at it, and we see it has taken some damage and made it sort of noise, and oh, it's making another noise, and that noise is death. And oh my, it looks like it's actually carved through the target. It didn't just hit the one, it went straight through it. We have been defeated, you think? Right, so it does have 4 legs as well. Right. That thing is fairly well armed. What we'll do this time is we'll go for a Shellwalker, and we will put in Airship, and let's put in the Coventry. This is armed with a lot of missiles on the front, so let's start that one, and we are firing out straight away. We can see we're doing some damage there, and yeah, it carved a big hole in it. Right, okay, so the the Shellwalker is taking some damage. It's also coming towards us there. It looks like it opens up and then fires and carves right on the bottom there and then closes up. I wonder if there's a, like, it takes less damage when it's closed like that. Either way, it has very effectively removed all of the weapons on it and then removed, well, the remaining part of it. Okay. I do like this Shellwalker. I don't like to fight it, but there we go. Let's try that again. So back over to training. We're going to increasingly add more and more ships here. So airship, I'll tell you what. If there's going to be a hard counter to it, it's going to be not the Coventry, it's going to be the Dresden. The Dresden being a high-altitude vessel that goes and bombs. So we'll start that fight immediately. We have to say, oh, we can't move it over there. That's a problem. We're going to have to move it down to there. We'll come down, and then hopefully we can get some orders off before it does that. Oh, no, it's coming right above us, so there we go. We are dropping some bombs on it, and no, it has managed to effectively carve the front off. Okay, has anyone seen the shadows from Babylon 5? And it was always a Jaquan that's getting carved up. That's what this reminds me of. Let's go back over to training here and play. Add an airship. So that didn't work out. I guess the Excalibur at 16,000 points is... yeah, we could be well over the top with it. Okay, let's just see what would happen if we put this thing against now. Now, this is 16,569 points versus 10,000. Let's start that fight, and we can see shots are going out. It is firing back and has carved a big chunk out of this. We can also see loads of aerial hussars, which I'm going to guess will easily be able to destroy this because this laser, I'm assuming, cannot target the other bits. And good grief! So not only has it just targeted this suspendium chamber here, it's taken out the adjoining suspendium chambers and also set loads of fires, and that's blown up. And yeah, that's interesting. It looks like the aerial hussars are taking this thing out. You can see they are shooting away at it. We have lost another section there. We have also lost loads of the hussar bays. The main keel in the centre has taken some damage. It's going to fire again, and it is targeting that keel right there. It's now closed back up again. We are shooting at it with these rockets. We have 3 big cannons on the back, 2 of these torpedoes, as well as oh, good grief, a flamethrower, and the back end has been torpedo misfire. That's suboptimal. The back end has been completely cleaned off. So, it is now attacking the weapons, which has now blown the other weapon off. It is also stomping towards us, and I wonder if it can ram it. It looks like the aerial hussars are firing away there, and I think it has taken some damage. You can see it is damaged around this mushy spire in the centre. We have now got 3 ships, which is brilliant. I am going to put this onto rapid fire because, quite frankly, it's close enough, and I think we can. And it looks like... yeah, it looks like we've lost all of the weapons on the front. Most of the main section here is gone. And then finally it is taking out the weapons at the bottom. And that is pretty much it. It does say no target available because these are some miniguns and some flat cannons. I think we will probably eventually win if we had enough time because... yep, there it goes. It cannot take out the aerial hussars and the planes. But to say that we won would be wouldn't be entirely accurate. I think it's a bit disingenuous to say that we won fair and square. But we did manage to defeat that. So let's go back over to the training. And we'll see if we can get within that 10,000 point budget. So we'll go to a land ship and we'll put on the Encroacher. The Encroacher is armed with these cannons. Now, I don't know at this stage what sort of accuracy that laser has. I'm going to guess because it's a laser, it just hits whatever it tries to shoot at. So, it's never missed yet. So, being further away is actually not the right call, I don't think. So, we're going to start the fight, and we'll see what happens. First things first, it shoots right where, sadly, our command center was. It blows off also the tracks, and that is just dandy. Oh, I don't mean that, do I? Looks like it's blown the weapon off the top there. And it's not yet firing this thing. Oh, there we go. It's finally fired, and you can hear it hitting off the side there. Looks like we have lost one of the guns, three of the guns. We only have 3 of them left now. And it is very easily carving through. So, I'm trying to think on what sort of vessel would be able to defeat this thing. Well, boarding is out. It looks like to be big vessels are out because they get exploded straight away. So I'm guessing either swarming stuff or a very light carrier. But even then, the carrier would be destroyed. Wow. The carrier would be destroyed very quickly and leaving only the stuff that it dispatched. So yeah, we could also go for very high level bombing. That might work, but I'm not too sure. Let's leave that one there because we're not going to win that one. Back over to training once again. And we'll say airship this time, and we're going to put, there's a flamethrower. A couple of Berlins might be, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is just under the 10,000 that it recommends there. We will start the fight, and then we'll say move, and we'll say move, actually we'll say, yeah, move right to there. These are going to come forward, and it knows what's happening, so it's backing up. It is backing up, and we're going to say move to there. Keep going forward, and it is running away. It is running away, but flames are on. We have managed to attack it from that side. We are going to go down and jam it in there, and it looks like it knows what's happening, so we'll move forward. We'll have to say both of these ram to there. Come on, those ones, ram there, and go. It is going to go forward as best it can and start firing out. Oh, good grief, it's just carving away there. Luckily, we've now got a nice steady stream of flame, which I'm hopeful on this one. Actually, yeah, you see it's taking damage there, and because it's not moving, because that thing landed on top for a second there, I think we should have it here, unless the next shot totally destroys one of these ships, which is possible. There we go. That has now stopped. This one will have to move. No, we can't move up because, as you can see, it has lost the suspendium chamber. For this one at the back, I will say ram, and I will say ram to there and go forward, because this target will probably be here next, and it is trying to run away, but we are managing to get right into the critical bit, and there it goes. Right. So we have defeated it within that budget. So I think now we can safely say that's the training mode. Let's go on to the standard fight. A monstrous creation, bone, flesh, and metal. And there we go. So now this time it says budget 4,000. Actually, that says enemy 10,000. I think the budget on the other one was like 100,000, but yeah, we worked within that one there. So this, for our budget, is 4,000. So what do we have around about the 4,000 points level? We have a Harrier. That could be an interesting one, actually, the Harrier. I'll bring it very close because this has the 3 planes, which it shouldn't be able to destroy, plus some cannons. Now, as I said, I think that using the planes, maybe not akin to cheating, certainly not. But I'm just interested to know whether or not that is the way to go. It looks like it's fired right at the back and taken out the propulsion system. So we can't get the flak in. I was trying to get right underneath it and do it that way, but it looks like it hasn't worked out. I have targeted that there, but the other plane, yep, there we go. The bomber has now taken off. It looks like we have lost the suspendium chamber as well as the other rear part of it. We have still, however, the cannon on the top there, this big turret, as well as the 2 cannons down below. It's going to fire again, and zap! It is just working from the back and coming over there. We still have our planes. These, what are the biplanes? No, the biplanes. And our bomber above as well, which is hitting this shell, which is quite effective there. You can see that the damage has not shown on there. It looks like it's walked right over the top of this thing, which is something I didn't... It just did. Oh, it's akin to flinging a hailstone on a on a nuclear bunker at this stage when it's closed. Okay, we have been defeated. That did not work out. Right, exit combat, yes. Back over to the standard mode. We will click play, and we'll see what have we got for land ships that is a reasonable price. That is, oh, that was an interesting idea that we had there. We've got an Atlanta, which is a boarding vessel, same as that one there. The Adjuster, which is, yeah, I actually built this originally as a joke. The point was that you have something that's really tall, and then the thing would target a random section like this, as an exploitation of unintended game mechanics. So let's see what happens. So we've got these torpedoes which are going out. It is actually coming straight towards us, and no, that didn't. That did not work out, did it? It didn't target the bit that I thought. It actually targeted the critical mass bit. Okay, back over to this one, airship, and we've got the crane, which is useless, the Denver, which is boarding, the Dresden, which is... Oh, we could have two Dresdens. What if we do two Dresdens? That might work out, because these are probably one of the most powerful ships that we have. So place one there and one there. Actually, we'll move that one just a little bit lower there, because our objective is to start the fight, get this one to ram. I'm going to say ram, and go as far as we possibly can, like so. And this one we will just simply move to there, because yeah, that's what I thought might happen. It might go the other way, and we just have to try and move it one way or the other. That one we'll say move to there and turn it round, and it's going to fire up again, and there's some bombs, and oh, it looks like we managed to we actually managed to get landed on the side here, because it shot the suspending mount and then this dropped down, and it looks like it's going to stomp over the top there, and yeah, that didn't work out as intended. Back over to the Shellwalker once again. Airship. What else have we got to fight? We've tried that. We haven't tried the Leroy. Maybe 1, 2, 3 Leroys, which are ramming vessels. Start the fight immediately. We'll say ram, and we'll say ram over to there. This obviously is going to... Oh, I was going to say it's going to back up, but it's not. It's actually going to... Yeah, it's going to do exactly what I thought might happen. It's going to target one of them, and then it's going to crush down. But I think that's actually not a bad idea. Let's try, instead of using the same type of thing, let's sort of mix it up a little bit. So we have, what's that? The Testington. Oh, that's full of, I believe it's sponsons. Yeah, sponsons might be interesting. The T-heads and stuff are a bit different. There's an unassailable. That's a high-ish level bomber. Service ceiling 352 meters. So probably not what we want. I'm going to go with a Leroy. I'm going to go with one Leroy like that. We'll say airship, and we want to go with maybe a Barry. Put a Barry up here and then work our way around that way. We also want probably a Botfly. No, maybe too cheap. No, Leroy. You see it's a Rock Tosser. Now that is a weird vessel. That is quite high level. It just drops loads of grenades on it. I think we're going to go with land ship. What could we go with? The Atlanta, no, just useless. Atlanta version 2, more useless. The Leeds, which is actually okay, and then a Medusa, which is an acid spitter. Actually, we'll go with an acid spitter. So there is a weird mix of vessels here. We'll start that fight. This one will immediately say ram and go to there. This one will immediately say move and go to there, and then this one is obviously going to go on to rapid fire and then unpause it. Let's see what it goes for first. Yeah, it targeted as soon as it could. The actually, this is not moving. What is that armed with? Is that they're not flamethrowers, are they? They might be flamethrowers. I think they're flamethrowers. I think I might have messed that one up there. Okay, move down to there, spin it round, go to there, and it should do that. It's actually coming towards me, which is interesting. No, it is acid spitters. So it is acid spitters. That's fine. It has carved up this thing and is now naturally backing up. I have managed to hit this thing, and we are going to keep moving as close to this as possible. We can see that the acid spitters are still working. The Barry has been taken out, and now it is firing back. This is a lot more difficult than I originally thought, and I don't think that vessel's going to destroy it. Okay, let's have a couple more attempts at this thing. Let's go to airship and to maybe the rock tosser would be a worthy inclusion. High level-ish bomber. In terms of airship again, that's boarding. That's ramming, which ramming doesn't work. There's a prim. Now, the prims were quite good. They were, it stands for primitive, and they were simply a bunch of vessels armed with armed with harpoons, and the reason they're called a prim is because they are primitive. We went over budget on that one, but this is a full primitive build. Let's start the fight there. This one will move over to there. These are firing out straight away, which is very, very good. It looks like it has targeted the big bomber at the top there. Luckily, well, I was about to say this thing is actually pretty good because it can stay up even if it's lost a couple of those, but doesn't look to be so much, does it? It looks like it's actually targeted the the command center, and that's now taken that out, and that's going to also take out one of these ones at the bottom. You can see these shots are hitting into it, and some damage is being done. However, I don't know how much damage. I'm going to start to order these things to split up essentially, because I don't want them to land on top of each other. And there you go, it looks like it's targeting the closest ones, so we'll go over there, get a bit more, get a bit closer to it. I'll do that as well. I'm going to get these right up close. When one dies, I will then move the other one in like so. That can move down. This one can move right forward. So we are able at the moment to keep this hail of fire going, and I'm going to guesstimate that this is probably the way forward. Having it so that we can essentially take things out with a swarm approach is, I think, probably the way we're going to have to go about it. Although, as you can see, it's taken very little damage. Very, very little damage indeed. So I don't know what we can do there. Let's say a ram over to the back there, and we just need to keep pushing it. The reason I went with ram is because there's a lot of stuff in the way. So we are pushing it back and back and back and back. We are still left with a couple of shells here, which actually are armed as well, so that's interesting. Here's another shot that's going to come out, and yep, it's just destroyed the front there. We only have 2 of these prims left, which means that we're probably not going to be able to defeat this thing. Yeah, there's no damage shown around here, so I'm wondering what sort of... Is that someone floating there? Yep, that is... One bit of the prim left. Yeah, it is happy just carving those weapons away. Okay, we're not going to win that one. We will put it to max speed here just to finish this one off. There's only a couple more shots before it destroys everything. Was one left back there? It was left back there. And yeah, I think that... Where's that targeting? Yeah, they're all completely destroyed. Right, a couple more of tents, and then we are going to have to call it there. What could we go with? What could we go with? I don't think the Leroy is worth it. The Rampage is an explosive one. Rock Tosser got destroyed straight away. This Sterling, we could go with a couple of Sterlings, but once again, I think that will be destroyed very, very, very quickly. I mean, I guess the land ship is the way forward. But that's really short range. Something that we can just sit back and bombard with is probably the way forward, but I don't think we have anything there. We do have the legacy stuff, where we have all sorts of things here. Evil tanks, flame tanks. This is all stuff that we have used in the past, and some of them you can't even use because there's been changes since then, which is why a lot of these are legacy. There's a sniper. Oh, a sniper. That could work. There's a melee one. There's the pyro, which is flame. The scorpion, the groundhog, the inferno, Stort. There's loads of... Oh, a tiger. What's the 10 key? Oh, yes, it was... it was too big. Doggington, which is naturally shaped like a dog. I think we will go with a gun towers, like so, and an airship of the Dresden. And let's see if this one works. Oh, we actually got some more points. Got the Inferno or the Strider. Botfly. The Ramage. Troll. We'll go with the Prim. A couple of Prims in there. Nothing wrong with a couple of Prims. And we are just underpointed. Start the fight. That one moved to there. Go. You can see it's going to probably shoot the Dresden. Yep, straight away, shot the Dresden, and that's pretty much out. So, it looks like we're not getting this defeated. Not today. I'm going to have a think about this one. This is very much a challenge. As I said, this will be unlocked once I have defeated it. Looks like to be with the current layout, that's not going to happen. So we'll have to have a bit of a think on this one. Technically, this will be unlocked once I complete the normal mode, which is this one, not hard. Although I think we did set ourselves a challenge to do that. Whether or not we ever get to the hard, I don't know. But I think we will leave it there. Next episode, we are going to have to attempt this one again and see just what is going to be effective against this thing. I'm going to guess either some... It's going to have to be something very heavy hitting or a lot of something. The problem with a lot of something is that you spend a lot of time making it fly or whatever, and maybe a ground vessel is in order, something that can stay on the ground, shoot away, and do that sort of thing. Let's have a quick look before we leave that at the airship editor. What sort of weapons would be effective? Aerial torpedoes, maybe, but it does move a lot. Cannons, always useful. Flamethrower, no, it moves too much. Giant flamethrower, same thing. Grenades, no, because we have to get on top of it. Heavy cannons and the heavy turrets, yes, maybe. Light sponsons could be the way to go. And Sawblade, no. And now there's also a suspendium... what's that say? A Suspendium Ray, which requires Suspendium Projection Tier 4, High Accuracy Beam of Charge, Suspendium Dust. Damage is 6 times 16, so that is pretty much what that is armed with. Maybe we clamp that on something and see how that works. Either way, we will see what happens next episode when we attempt this once again. If you have any ideas for how we can defeat this thing, by all means put them in the comments and we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings.